Rain pattered against the windows of the Bay Area Chronicle newsroom as Marcus Thompson stared at his computer screen, his heart pounding. The message thread before him revealed something sinister. "Thank you for accepting me into Black Voices United, brothers and sisters," wrote user BlackTruth365. Marcus had been tracking this account for weeks, noticing inconsistencies in its posts about the Black experience. "Hey Marcus, you look like you've seen a ghost," called out his colleague, Lisa Wright, from the next desk. Marcus beckoned her over. "Look at this." BlackTruth365 slipped up, posted a photo with a reflection in the window. He's white, not black like he's been claiming. Lisa leaned in, squinting at the image. "Wait, isn't that Jack Curtis? The guy who protested against the new African American history curriculum?" "Bingo," Marcus said, pulling up another window. "He's infiltrated 6 different civil rights groups, gathering information, creating division, trying to destroy these organizations from within." Marcus sat back, running his hands over his face. "This is bigger than just some internet troll. He's got connections to known hate groups. If I can expose this..." "You know they'll come after you," Lisa warned. Marcus nodded, determination settling over his features. Some stories are worth the risk, and this one needs to be told. "Would you like me to continue with the next section?" Marcus strode into Sarah Chen's compact tech shop, weaving between towers of computer parts. The bell above the door chimed, and Sarah emerged from behind a server rack, her purple-streaked hair catching the fluorescent light. "Got your message," Sarah said, clearing space at her workstation. "Show me what you found." Marcus pulled out his laptop, laying out his investigation. BlackTruth365 has been posting in these groups for 6 months. But look at the posting patterns. He pointed to a spreadsheet. Everything's between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Like it's someone's job. Sarah's fingers flew across her keyboard. IP addresses coming from. Interesting. An office building owned by the Heritage Protection Foundation. Know them. Yeah, Marcus growled. They fought against every civil rights bill in the last decade. Jack Curtis is their communications director. Over the next 3 hours, they mapped Jack's network. Dozens of fake accounts, all feeding information back to the foundation. Sarah broke through the digital walls, uncovering emails, meeting minutes, and strategy documents. "Time to pay Jack a visit," Marcus said, checking his watch. "He's speaking at the downtown community center tonight." The community center buzzed with activity as Marcus walked in, recording device hidden in his jacket. Jack Curtis stood at the podium, speaking to a room full of Black community leaders, his skin darkened with makeup. As a proud Black man, Jack began. Marcus stood up. "Really, Jack? Or should I say, Communications Director Curtis from the Heritage Protection Foundation?" The room froze. Jack's face paled beneath his makeup. "Security," he shouted. "No need," Marcus called out, projecting his voice. "I've got proof right here. Want to see who you really invited to speak." The crowd turned hostile as Marcus held up his phone, displaying Jack's real photo. Jack backed away from the podium, eyes darting toward the exit. "This isn't over," Jack hissed as he pushed past Marcus toward the door. "You're right," Marcus replied calmly. "It's just beginning." "Would you like me to continue with the next section?" Marcus pulled into his driveway at midnight, exhausted from a long day of reporting. The instant his headlights swept across his garage door, his blood ran cold. Spray painted in massive red letters, "Keep quiet," or else his phone buzzed another anonymous text, "Walk away before you can't walk at all." The next morning, Marcus marched into the police station, laptop under his arm. Officer Reynolds barely glanced at the evidence folder. "Look, Thompson, some guy pretending to be someone else online? That's not exactly a priority case," Reynolds said, pushing the folder back. "He's orchestrating a campaign of hate," Marcus pressed. "These are organized hate groups using fake identities to file a complaint online." Reynolds cut him off. Next. Leaving the station, Marcus found Reverend James waiting outside. "Word spreading about what you uncovered," the Reverend said. "The community's behind you." Within days, Marcus's phone lit up with messages of support. Church groups, student organizations, and civil rights activists offered help. Sarah called with breakthrough news. "Marcus, get to my shop now," her voice crackled with urgency. "You need to see this." Sarah's screens displayed dozens of email chains. They're planning something big. The Civil Rights Unity March next week? Jack's group is sending 30 infiltrators. They're going to start fights, trigger chaos, make it look like the movement is violent. Marcus studied the details, his jaw tightening. 5,000 people are coming to that march. Families, children. That's not all, Sarah typed rapidly. They've got people inside the police department. That's why Reynolds brushed you off. Look who's on their payroll. Maps appeared on screen showing police response plans, pre-written media statements blaming march organizers for any violence. The Heritage Foundation had thought of everything. They want to destroy the movement's credibility, Marcus said. Turn public opinion against us. But his phone buzzed again. Another threat, final warning. Back off now. Marcus straightened up, determination hardening his features. Sarah, send everything to my encrypted drive. I need to make some calls. They're not going to stop, Sarah warned. Neither am I, Marcus replied. But we've got 6 days to stop them from turning this march into a disaster. Time to show Jack Curtis what real unity looks like. Would you like me to continue with the climax section? The morning of the Civil Rights Unity March dawned bright and clear. Marcus stood at the press platform, surrounded by community leaders and his most trusted allies. The crowd stretched for blocks, thousands strong. Through his earpiece, Sarah's voice crackled, spotted Jack entering from the south entrance. He's got at least 20 people with him. Get ready, Marcus told Reverend James. Here we go. The first shouts erupted near the back. One of Jack's infiltrators pushed a young marcher, cameras immediately swinging toward the commotion. But they found themselves surrounded by a wall of peaceful protesters, hands raised in silence. Marcus grabbed the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're witnessing isn't spontaneous violence. This is orchestrated chaos, planned by this man. The giant screen behind him lit up with Sarah's evidence, emails, photos, bank transfers. Jack Curtis, show yourself. The crowd parted. Jack stood in his disguise, face darkening with rage. You're lying, he shouted. No more lies, Marcus declared. Behind him, dozens of phones projected videos of Jack's real identity, his Heritage Foundation meetings, his racist rants. The truth is right here. Federal agents moved through the crowd, badges glinting. Agent Rodriguez stepped forward. Jack Curtis, you're under arrest for conspiracy, fraud, and civil rights violations. This is ridiculous. Jack tried to run but found himself facing a line of his intended victims, standing proud and unmoved. His hired agitators melted away as police officers, the honest ones, moved in with handcuffs. Officer Reynolds appeared, looking sheepish. Mr. Thompson, we found evidence of corruption in our department. I owe you an apology. The crowd erupted in cheers as Jack was led away. Marcus watched as Black, white, Asian, and Hispanic community members embraced each other. The Heritage Foundation's plan to sow division had backfired spectacularly. Reverend James took the microphone. Today we showed that hate cannot divide us when we stand together. This march will continue, more powerful than ever. Marcus felt a hand on his shoulder. Sarah smiled. Not bad for a journalist and a tech geek. The march resumed, stronger and more unified than before. Marcus walked among the crowd, recording their songs of freedom, their chants for justice. Jack's attempt to destroy their movement had only made it stronger. Would you like me to write the resolution section? 3 months after the march, Marcus sat in the courtroom as the judge delivered Jack Curtis's sentence. 10 years for conspiracy against civil rights, fraud, and inciting violence. The Heritage Protection Foundation's offices were shuttered, their network of hate exposed and dismantled. Outside the courthouse, Marcus met with Reverend James and Sarah. The steps were packed with community members who had supported the investigation. Your story changed everything, Sarah said, showing Marcus her tablet. 300 hate groups exposed nationwide. People are finally paying attention. Marcus watched as a group of children, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, played together near the courthouse fountain. Their parents, who'd once been strangers, now chatted like old friends. The article's been nominated for a Pulitzer, Marcus said quietly. But that's not what matters. Look around. This is what matters. Reverend James nodded. When they tried to divide us, we grew stronger. Your courage showed people the truth. Marcus's phone buzzed another message, but not a threat this time. It was from Officer Reynolds' new oversight committee approved. Would you consider joining? Marcus smiled. The work wasn't over, but something had shifted. In trying to destroy unity, Jack Curtis had helped create something unbreakable.